Hello and welcome to more Testulous. We're here on Honeycomb. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP, 3K, 4v4. We got Apical, Grenade, Prophet, and Xenophon on Team 1. Yena, Captain Cupcake, Corbeau, and Ketabor, who is Rymark on Team 2. We're still testing, primarily focused on testing the battleship and the current state of its armor and so forth and so on. There are, of course, many other things happening this patch, rather notably the missile changes with the salvo planner, the AMM changes with the PD controller, as well as the AMM damage model, myriad bug fixes, the masquerade working in a completely different way. You can actually flag as which ship you're hiding as. There's all sorts of little things coming. But the big ticket item is, of course, the battleship, because well, that's what people like. That's what people want to drive. And it's also been, at least currently, the most overpowered thing on the testing branch. So we're still tooling around with it, trying to see where it should be, what it should be doing. Those other changes shouldn't be completely overshadowed by it, so I'm going to keep bringing them up as well. Dropping down here with the OSP team. Oh yeah, we're also in, just hanging out in the Coliseum, the main chat. We got Mechanaut, Asmodeus, Cryptic, Lobster, and Not So Lone Wolf here as well. A lot of faces, a lot of voices, a lot of brains on the problem, as it were, of balance in the testing branch. It's a little different than usual, but it's nice to have those different minds here. So what do we got? We got Captain Cupcake in container liner. Semi-active container liner. Okay, last time we saw this thing, it was a train wreck and didn't do anything. So we'll see. That was, like, what, 3 months ago now? Although that was also on Honeycomb, interestingly enough. Funny how things work out sometimes. Let's see how well he does in that this time. Yeah, that was, I think that was about 2.5 months ago, recording-wise. We've got Corbeau in the Torpedo 450 Acellos for maximal anti-battleship action. Yena in a Rail and 250 Acello, which also has some soft kill and some hard kill on it. As well as 2 mass driver monitors with T30s on them. And flak. Mass driver and T30 is an interesting combination. 1 LRT. Rymark is rocking, I think, the Miners Union. No, that's not what this is. Plasmas and 250s on those monitors. Plasma and 450 on that monitor. Okay, so 3 plasma 450s, 2 plasma 250s. Plasmas and turrets, 250s and 450s on the nose. Couple 3 rocket shuttles for cap and points, and 1 rocket shuttle powered only by an auxiliary steerage as well. Some scouting missiles going out. We got grenade and the Bane of Feeders. Oh, interesting. I saw... very interesting. I was looking in the lobby screen, and I guess he renamed his fleet, because I kept... all of us, I think, kept sniping him and figuring out what build he was bringing based on the hashes on the lobby screen. Bane of Feeders, by the way, is a double beam battleship with a S2 backpack and tons of stone walls and a few defenders. It's a very powerful build, and grenade plays it very well. Prophet has Divine Tikkun here with beam on the backpack, beam on the kill, and then 450s on both nose slots. Good amount of PD, not amazing PD, but good PD. And then 2 escorts, 1 jam frig, and 1 cap shuttle with a gun on it. Xenophon bringing 250 Axford with S3s on the back. Presumably hybrids. Yeah. Some in-stage, some crews. Not specifics on what heads those have, although the in-stage, of course, has to have command. And a pair of Sarissa Frigs? No, one Sarissa Frig with some 250s on it, and one Jam Frig, which is pretty far offset. Interestingly, it looks like bulk of the Anus fleet's going to be headed up towards Charlie. As is usual, Charlie is going to be an absolute bloodbath here on this map. Although, well, I guess not, because the OSP did not also commit to this. It's just the ANS. OSP's primarily headed towards Delta. They had a few ships going to Echo and Bravo for capping purposes. And even actually going to get the Charlie cap. Apical has a missile voxel and has somehow managed to afford 2 other ships with it. Very impressive. I know whenever I make my missile voxels, they're 3,000 points, so I'm not sure what kind of build he has on these. Pretty cool. Big fan. Got those 2 backup escorts are jam frigs with some other things on them. Got some. Oh, they have hang-ups and stone walls. They have hang-ups and stone wall mounts flip-flopped on each one. Interesting.
The enemy is securing zone Comet.
And we have no sick jams. We need some sick jams. What do we listen to? What are our sick jams? Let's listen to the fucking Neb music. It's been a while. We have an absurd volume of plasma fire heading after this one single sprinter here, which is going to be able to dodge most of it. Very nice. Very nice. Can't dodge the 250 or the 450 as effectively, however. Let's turn up the volume here since the peanut gallery is being fairly quiet, which is fine. Can do whatever they want.
Damn Skippy.
It's nice. It's nice to not get interrupted while going through all the ships at the beginning of the match.
The enemy secured zone
Shuttle's been downed on Charlie. We knew that was coming. Prophet's Sprinter is getting damaged. Not going to be able to get the Bravo cap. Yeah, now it's eating grape as well. Yeah, this thing's hosed. We're going to listen to this later. We're going to put this on shuffle. We're going to go to this. Much better. S2's coming out. I'm not sure where these are headed. It might just be some scouting missiles. A couple of containers coming out as well. And going into the wall. I'm not sure what the plan was with those. It might have been track-fired hot launch. I think that's exactly what we're actually. Not great. Not great.
The way they were tracking, I wonder if they were container AMMs.
I hope not. It's a distinct possibility, though.
The enemy is securing zone
Missile voxel moving forward, jamming out the OSP pretty effectively. Yeah, missile voxel's disappeared. Pretty much the entire OSP team has been revealed here. Everything's visible. Anus is gonna know OSP's way overcommitting. Divine eating some plasma fire and some various ballistics. A little bit of 250, a little bit of 450. Very little damage coming down though. Lost a rapid DC locker, which doesn't mean anything, of course.
And the armor buff shows its head again.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just get shot and not take damage. And I have absolutely no idea how anyone can possibly be of the opinion that this is sensible or balanced.
The enemy secured zone Dagger.
Getting shot by the biggest shell in the game, and they're just completely fine. Alright, Ramark loses another one of those empty shells to some of those Revenge of the Feeder Eaters. Looks like Apical's been revealed here. His jamming is worn off a little bit, or not.
I think he's just too far away from his jammers.
Well, he was... Okay, now he's locked. For a second, he was getting shot at, but wasn't in vision. Some hybrids coming after the monitors.
Somehow, despite deathballing basically their entire fleet, OSPs managed to get a cap lead.
Yep, because Rymark's shuttle fleet. They're about to lose that lead, though, as Alcal's just YOLOing it for Bravo in his missile voxel, which is incredibly foolish. But it's gonna work out anyways, as...
I don't necessarily know if that's true. There's a lot of things shooting at it.
There are, but most of the ships are having issues orienting or busy firing at other stuff. Okay, they got some ships firing at the frigates, and there's also a lot of grape coming in.
The enemy is securing zone Boxer.
That's got containers going every which way, which is something. Yeah, the Owaka is not really flying very well anymore. Yeah, Lobster's right. This thing is getting torn to smithereens. I don't know, maybe I've just gotten so used to watching battleships take absolutely no damage that it's hard to get a feel for other ships. Again. Yeah, Voxel gonna die in a reasonable amount of time and a reasonable amount of damage. Frigate's, of course, going to die much more quicker than reasonably. Ooh, especially with a little bit of plasma on the side there. Mass Driver's also hitting the Oaxaca.
The enemy secured zone Boxer.
And lots of containers are just going wherever they're going. I have no idea what the plan is with these containers. Well, they are going into a wall, which is fun. Okay, we're just gonna not watch that since that's causing me physical pain inside of my body.
Missile voxel is down.
Yes, it is. Dead on Bravo. Aina still gets the Bravo cap off. But Rymark's heading down there to solve that little problem. Oh, and also gets some plasma onto the Divine Tikkun, which unfortunately gets some beams onto the monitors, which kills them very quickly.
Insta-killed one of them. Just
Yep.
instant.
Killed the reactor, and when you have no restores, yeah, kill the reactor and the CIC. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, it looks like it's only one reinforced DC locker with rapids to fill in space.
And another one's drives out.
It's a big problem. And
And the
there's
third
another
one's
monitor.
just dead.
Yeah.
Okay, well that didn't last very long.
Yeah, monitors are a poor, poor weapon against battleships, unfortunately.
Yep.
Unless this was, if this was a torpedo monitor fleet, it might be different.
Maybe, but the problem with torpedo monitors is it's like, why bring this instead of a tug?
Yeah.
That's just a worse platform for it because you can fit more in the magazine, but you don't really want that in frontline vessels. Missiles coming in and helping clean up the monitors. So that's Kettlebore completely wiped more or less, other than one single monitor, which has somehow gone under the map or around the lower Delta Alpha line is what it looks like. Yeah, he looped under here. He's gonna manage to cap A.
Nice of him to sacrifice himself to even things up after the missile fleet suicided for no good reason.
Yes, yes, it's very polite.
It was roughly 90 seconds to drop those 4 monitors, by the way.
Wow. And yeah, looks like that's not going to get Alpha because the T-Gun covers that as well. Eats a few missiles though. Okay, well, OSP's lost most of their plasma potential, so I'm pretty sure the game's over, actually, just like right now. Because OSP doesn't have anything that can effectively damage battleships anymore. Captain
Well, they could
Cupcake's
still-
containers, but like... I haven't been very impressed with what I've been seeing out of those. What were you going to say, Lobster?
Oh, I was going to point out the containers as well. It really is their only hope at this point.
Yeah. And, yeah, that's great. We have all these ships on the field with big guns, and they can't really do anything. With them.
Wish I could argue the point, but sadly, I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday afternoon or evening when that patch came out and people were talking about it, and I was like, you know what, maybe I am wrong here. Puppy is like really knowledgeable about the game, and I usually agree with him on most things. So I'm totally down with being wrong when I am being pessimistic, but yeah, pretty sure we're not here. So this battleship is taking a little bit of damage from where the 450s are landing, but yeah, again, we're seeing most of the damage is coming from torpedoes.
Cool.
Some pretty good hits, though.
Yeah, a completely cursed build actually working out.
Yeah,
I'm
it's...
definitely gonna need to steal that one.
I wonder if it's fast startup module on the first wave, on both, on all of the torps, or only half of them, because I feel like you only need them on the second wave, just to get that salvo density.
I don't know. I think the with that torpedo salvo, I think they might actually have the BB now.
Great, they've
It's got
managed
one
to
turret or two. It's got two.
There
kill
are
one of the
multiple
battleships.
BBs in this game.
Yeah, that's where I was going next, is unfortunately there's a second one, and Corbeau is out of things that can damage battleships.
Yeah.
And the second one is also not plasmid, which means, as it stands, aside from the containers, nothing in the game can deal reliable damage to the battleship. Even though there are 6,000 points of non-container ships, roughly, on the map. And the container ship is about to get murdered by missiles. Because it's a semi-active direct fire container ship. And that's just begging to be murdered. By, well, a
Are
lot of
those
things.
actually... Those are actually AMM containers.
Now, those S1s coming out of here?
Ah, okay. Sorry.
Those are AMMs. He does have a lot of them though, which is, you know, not a bad thought. Colossal waste of points, unfortunately. Probably spending more in AMMs than he's actually killing.
Maybe Salvo was only really high.
Yeah, it's gotta be max DOF. The Divine Tikkun able to dip out here. And might actually be able to resurrect if it can get covered. No, these cells are too close for it to actually get covered from them.
The enemy secured zone.
The ANS team just straight up ignoring the container vessel, even though that's the one thing that can challenge them. Because of how unimpressive it's been thus far.
You know, if ever there was a time to launch semi-active containers, this would be it.
Yeah,
You can repair them, that is.
sure.
Unfortunately, he's having power issues.
Yeah.
He
And
might
meanwhile,
actually blow. Oh.
our ship is just gonna tear the
that an
cell
overload?
apart. Yeah, that's a reactor overload. And it's handled.
Okay, it's God. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Battleship's been plinked by much small arms fire. Ooh, and a little bit of mass driver.
Good God.
See, isn't this fun? Just knowing that the second Rymark's fleet died, the game was over. We can just sit here and watch in awe as the glorious ANS fleet marches to an inevitable victory, as it should be.
Very slowly.
Very slowly. Very slowly, in their big, fat, unkillable death machines. But it is inexorable. We got some semi-actives coming in. Come on, let's see it. Let's see it. Yeah, they're all gonna get defendered. Because you need decoys on your containers. That's not optional. Skill of players to build good PD nets. So rendered decoyless containers kind of useless. Except in very niche circumstances.
Maybe he'll run out of ammo.
The enemy is securing
Yeah, that's
zone
what
A.
Naya keeps saying about things, but it
Was that
never
Amazon's
works
launched
out.
offensively?
Maybe. Which also does nothing.
It's just literally fire everything.
Yeah. Good distract PD.
Yep.
It's kind of hard for
Enable his team
defenders
to make a move. Oh wait.
to hit us once. Yeah, looks like these are getting jammed out, so they're just gonna
Yeah.
whoosh off into the void. Yo.
Oh wow, it's just one kind of container. Okay.
Yeah, they are.
The enemy
when we started this match, I said that this isn't the worst container liner I've seen. I actually think this is worse than 2 1-point spam container liners. Like, the 2 container liner fleet I have is actually slightly better than this one. Wow.
Yeah. Gale spam doesn't really fit containers, does it?
The enemy is securing zone
Nope.
boxer.
Not unless you got offsets that are getting the illumination for you.
Well, that doesn't matter. We saw some get close, but the defender just kills them.
Yep. I think he's out of ammo. He's out of ammo, but the battleship is dodging them.
Those are some good dodges.
Wow.
It's not the dodge if he's just going in a straight line.
Yeah.
Oh, one hit.
The enemy secured zone boxer.
That was pretty interesting.
Really like the part of the match where the 2 beam battleships were chosen in the fleet editor, and the game ended immediately.
I'm gonna be real. I think we could have had a chance with a slightly different team composition and slightly different tactics.
For sure. I just think the monitors are on the plasma, or plasma's on the monitors. It's just like an instant loss against beam ships.
Realistically, I wanted to see if, like, I could put plasma on these monitors in a way that felt at all enough. Right?
It isn't.
Yeah, it's. I respect the attempt, but yeah, I think we can say pretty firmly that it's just not enough because the beams, even just a couple beam. I mean, the Divine Tikkun only had beam on the backpack and beam on the keel, which, well, I guess that is 2 beams. But
Yeah,
still,
his
it's just
container
sort of.
ship is more of a meme than I thought. Like, these
That's for
containers
sure.
need,
Not gonna
like...
lie, that container ship though almost got me. Well, I only moved out of the way because of my Raider drives, and also I ran out of PD ammo. Like period. Like I had 20,000 rounds of Defender ammo.
Man, I could have had you, but for some reason, I could not fire missiles for the longest time until I repaired the reactor.
You didn't have enough power to use your stuff. It's how that works.
The reactor was critical. Like I need probably give it a little bit more.
Also, Dark, did you like my
safety.
battleship guild mode?
Yeah, it's pretty
It
neat.
sat on sea dunking its own fleet.
You're yeah, I noticed that it helped a lot for the map control, but I was too busy being confused by a lot of decisions.
Wow, 18k damage tanked on a BB, still functional.
Well,
sometimes it just
functional,
works.
quote unquote. Half is a drive and a reactor are gone. He's got no comms, and half his components are gone.
Still got 2 beams.
Too. So he can't see nothing.
The forward hardpoint is a antenna.
I certainly wouldn't say that that's a BB in good condition.
It's not.
But, you know, considering what it killed, it did fine.
Counts for a cap, and it 18k damage, so...
And only 3k damage repaired. It's not like the repairs are actually doing much at the moment.
No.
Yeah. I personally think, the armor could go down just A bit.
Not gonna lie, I think I like this battleship setup. Also, the funny thing is that these are my feeder missiles that I have from a feeder missile fleet for the OSP. Um, the thing is, I think I'm actually carrying almost as much as that fleet does on just my battleship. I think maybe 3/4 as much because I think those carry like 150 or something.
Only 150 in a for monitor
Might be
missile.
more.
Alright, that was that game. We're not really talking about anything that useful. I mean, the same problem. Is that you can't really fight the battleship with 60 centimeters of armor. I mean, the play was pretty goofy, but the OSP team, the only thing that did any damage to either of these battleships was missiles, torpedoes here, and containers here. That's it. Guns are insignificant in the face of 60 armor.